Ole Gunnar Solskjær was born here in the Norwegian coastal town of Kristiansund. As yet, no statues are dedicated to its most famous citizen. They're currently restricted to the glory of the local economy. Kristiansund relies on its fishing industry, and as a child, this was the only type of net Ole was ever likely to fill. He grew up in this house on the outskirts of the town and almost missed football altogether. His father, Øyvind, was a 7 times national champion at another sport and encouraged Ole to follow in his footsteps.
He wanted me, of course, to go to try the wrestling as well, but it wasn't a sport for me.
You tried it then?
Yeah, I tried it a few years, but football was much more fun.
Have you remembered any of the moves though?
Yeah, of course, I remember a few of them, and I always, when I come home, me and my father tried to wrestle a little bit.
And who wins?
Of course, it's me.
But Ole chose football, and in his early days, Liverpool as his team. In fact, the nearest he got to a United shirt was in school photographs, but his own reputation was already being established.
I've been pesting and plaguing all my neighbors here with football. When I was alone, I was always staying here, shooting at this wall, using this fence as a defensive wall, shooting free kicks, and as you see, maybe the post box got a few knocks, but I think this is the second post box. I think I destroyed a few of them. And when I went to the pitch just up there, I tried to keep the ball all the way from here to the pitch in the air, and I don't remember how many times I made it, but I don't think it was too many, so maybe I can do it today. After school, almost every day, I was eager to get back home, get onto this pitch together with 15, 20 of my classmates every day, all night long. I used to be Zico from Brazil, Kenny Dalglish. The ball is always, 2 or 3 times every day it went up to one of those balconies up there, so then we got a break, and we didn't dare to knock on the door to those people, so we waited until they got out of the house.
Here, Ole Gunnar has scored many goals in his breaks. Many spectacular goals. It's funny, in 1985 we have Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham, and of course Ole Gunnar was playing at Man U.
So you signed him for Manchester United before Alex Ferguson?
In 1985 he was 13 years.
How much did it cost them then?
An apple.
Ole's first real club was local Division 3 side Klausenengen, who he joined on the advice of his father. An impressive youth policy was the key, and he stayed for 14 years.
I started there in 81. I was 7 years old, I think, and I played for them until I was 21, almost 22. So I enjoyed my time there. That's the club in my heart.
He used both legs. His head was very good in heading, you know. And he was always very smiley.
He was a very small boy, very slim and very little. But his technique was very good, even at that age.
The talent was obvious. Ole made his first team debut in 1991 and in 71 games scored 86 goals.
There is one I remember very well. He stand with his back to the goal, nearly in the midfield, and the ball was in the air, and he fell down, and he turned around and placed it under the bar, and the keeper, where is it? That's the funniest goal I ever have seen.
It was from like 35, 40 yards. The ball was just above my head. I went to head the ball. I didn't win it, but I saw the goalkeeper off his line and tried to chip it. That's maybe one of the best goals I've scored.
The reputation was now such that Norwegian Premiership side Molde wanted him. His potential spotted by a coach who played on the other side of Manchester. Åge Hareide was a dogged, determined centre-half who played under John Bond at Main Road, the original Norway to Manchester trailblazer.
From Koppel, it's Wilkins. Robson, can he turn? And Ryder makes yet another block.
I saw the boy playing in early 90s in a local game on the AstroTurf in town. That made me very interested in the boy. We tried to sign him in '94, and he said no. He wanted to play another year for his local club. Came back to him in before the '95 season. But of course, many other teams in Norway had taken attention of Ole Gunnar at that time because he also scored goals for the Olympics, the national team. So, but fortunately, he signed for me, and I was very pleased about that.
He was one of my idols as well. He has played 50 games for Norway, and of course, you look up to players like that. And he was a person that he always knew what I needed when I was in a bad mood, when I was in a good mood, and he always felt it how he should treat me, and I can't thank him enough for that.
He was popular with all age groups, really, because he looks like a little child, a little boy, you know. But behind that face, you know, there is an assassin, and I think your English have discovered that.
Slår inn, og så får Stavrum den. Og så det goal, og det Ole Gunnar Solskjær, og det 1-0 på Molde stadion. Det måtte komme, Rudi får dominere.
The cost of his move was the Norwegian equivalent of just £15,000, and the jump in class of 2 divisions from Klausenengen to Molde was no problem. In his first full season with his new club in 1995, Ole scored 20 goals as Molde finished runners-up to Rosenborg in the Norwegian League. His talents were now well known on a national stage, and the whole world was waiting to fall at his feet.
Så får vi en mulighet. Solskjær skårer i sin første kamp for Norge. Dette gjorde faktisk godt, uansett om det privat kamp, Mathis.
Ole was now front-page news, a national sporting hero and a full-blown celebrity required for regular appearances almost everywhere. But the big break was just about to happen. Of all the goals he'd ever scored, one was about to change his life.
The first goal I scored against Azerbaijan, I think Jim Ryan, the reserve team trainer, was watching that game, and I think he was impressed by that goal as well.
I really went to watch Ronny Johnsen playing for Norway, but that turned out to be a really easy game in a way. He didn't have a lot of work to do, so I didn't really, I wasn't really make much of an opinion about Ronny. But at the other end of the field, we had Ole scoring these couple of goals. One of them was absolutely magnificent.
Got a ball on my chest, and I turned around and tried to launch it against the goal, and it ends up in the top corner.
Jim Ryan phoned me the next day. He says, "Go and sign the boy. You know, he's got something."
I just thought it was one of these cases where I thought there might be time. You know, I thought other clubs may come in as well, and we needed to maybe if we're going to do something, do it pretty quick. So I thought it best to call the manager straight away. I knew he was at home. You know, he probably didn't appreciate me phoning him up then, but
I bet he does now, though.
Oh yeah, I think it's worked out pretty good for everybody. Yeah.
Manchester United's manager, Alex Ferguson.
The Norwegian media quickly picked up United's interest, which was officially confirmed by fax. Ole's next move was becoming public knowledge, but there was competition for his signature.
What about Solskjær? Is there anything new there?
Well, we're hoping that something happens there, yes. Something more positive. I think he may sign.
At that time, you know, it was Hamburger Sportsverein wanted to sign him. Cagliari in the Italian league wanted to sign him. But I said, well, I gave him my advice. I said it's no good for you to go to Germany or to Italy, because I could advise him to go to England, to a club like Man United, because it's not only the football players, but also the people in England. They're very social. They will take care of you, and make you feel at home, and that's very, very important for a footballer.
When I heard they were interested, I think I would have played for free, just to get a chance.
United, though, agreed to pay him and Molde, who themselves were £1.5 million better off. His last game in Norway was suitably memorable.
I won't forget his last game on this stadium.
I told Åge before the game that if I score, I'll throw my shirt into the crowd and just run off.
I said you have to wait within the last 10 minutes, and I said I'd do so, and he did.
10 minutes before the end, I think it was, I scored.
He threw his shirts to the fans, he scored the final goal and just walked off, and went to Man United.
Double winners Manchester United have strengthened their squad with the double signing of Norwegian internationals Ronny Johnson and Ole Gunnar Solskjær.
Ole Gunnar Solskjær. Ole Gunnar Solskjær. There you go.
Ole Gunnar Solskjær.
Unigolas, Ole Gunnar Solskjær. Some name that, isn't it?
You can't pronounce it.
So how do you pronounce your name?
Ole Gunnar Solskjær.
Right. And what about the players here? Can they pronounce it?
They call me Ole, so that's the easiest one.
Ole was just one of 5 foreign recruits in the summer of '96, and possibly the least known alongside the likes of Karel Poborski and Jordi Cruyff. The Old Trafford faithful had been expecting a bigger name. Alan Shearer chose Newcastle instead. The £15 million they paid for him and the £7 million Middlesbrough splashed on Fabrizio Ravanelli meant Ole's arrival hardly caused a ripple.
When they arrived, I said to him, you've got to discount the first season, obviously you've got to get used to the training here and the speed of the games and the competitiveness of the games. And we looked upon the first season as really as a settling in period.
Yeah, that was the plan, I think. And around Christmas I was hoping to get a few games as well, and it went a little bit quicker than that.
Well, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjær, the second Norwegian signed in the summer, who is a striker, and it's goals that Manchester United need.
I just remember warming up and telling myself, take the chance, show the people, show the crowd, show Alex Ferguson that what you're made of, that you can score goals, and so I just took the opportunity and I scored. So.
Giggs. Solskjær. Chance to hit it. And he's very much an instinctive finisher. Good movement, lovely stuff. That's the way to head it back to the goalkeeper.
Giving us a point. The first one is coming. Who's coming is Eric Cantona, and late you is quite a nice feeling. That's what football is all about, to perform in a big stadium in front of lots of people. That's what I've always dreamt about.
Solskjær! Ole, ole, ole! Oh, that's brilliant! That is brilliant! Ole Gunnar Solskjær! Oh, a really expert finish!
Top scorer in his first season and with almost 50 goals in 3 years, signing Solskjær had proved an astute bit of business by Ferguson.
Solskjær for Manchester United! Goal! Yes, there it is! It's Ole Gunnar Solskjær! Solskjær!
But during the summer of '98, the smile of new boy Dwight Yorke had actually threatened Ole's future at United. There seemed no place for him at Old Trafford, and clubs queued for his signature, with Tottenham leading the chase.
There was lots of things in the papers about that thing, but I was thinking about it, but I never really wanted to go, so I stayed here instead.
Were you ever tempted one little bit?
Maybe one tiny little bit. Of course, Tottenham, it's flattering. Tottenham is a big club, but there's no bigger club than this one, and I had a feeling that I had another word to say here.
As the season reached a climax, Ole Gunnar Solskjær was destined to score the most important goal of his career and United's history. The Premier League and FA Cup had been won, and Bayern Munich stood in the way of an unprecedented treble. The Champions League final saw him only as a substitute, but Ole knew he would win it for United.
I have a feeling sometimes sometimes when I think it's going to be my night, I think I'm going to score. So I called one of my friends back in Norway, Eirik, he's called, and I did it that day as well. Just he said he was going to work straight after, so I said you have to stay the whole game because I think I'll come on and do something. And I told the reserve team coach as well, I think this is going to be my night, just before the game started. That really was quite a little bit eerie, in fact, because normally what I'll do before games is go around each player and have a little word about opponents or about them, their game, or to try to help before they go out. So I turned to him and said, well, and be ready to go on. And he says to me, oh, I'm ready, all right. He says, I know something big's going to happen to me tonight. Yeah, he says, yeah. He says, I'm sure of it. Something big is going to happen to me tonight, something important.
People say it might have just come off his foot into the roof of the net, you know, but it's still his actual goal-scoring instincts probably diverted it that way. And if it had fallen to anyone else, maybe it wouldn't have been a goal. But because it fell to him, we won the European Cup.
So 93 minutes on the clock, he scores the winning goal. What do you think?
I thought it was. I thought I was in a science fiction movie.
Can Manchester United score? They always score.
The big goalie's coming up.
Peter Schmeichel is forward.
Can he score another in Europe? He's got one in Europe already.
Beckham in towards Schmeichel. It's comfort to White York. Cleared. Giggs with a shot. Sheringham! Name on the trophy. Teddy Sheringham, with 30 seconds of added time play, has equalised for Manchester United. They are still in the European Cup. You have to feel this is their year.
They must be playing defensive. Schmeichel's not coming up for this one. Thinks he's done enough.
Is this their moment? Beckham into Sheringham, and Solskjær has won it!
I slid down on my knees because I think that's what the German did when he scored. So I think I wanted to overdo him, and when I went up there, I injured my knee a little bit.
They say no pain, no gain. It kind of set you back a little bit, but was it worth the pain that moment?
Yeah, no problem. That's I would do it again, exactly the same again if I scored a goal.
Manchester United are the champions of Europe again.
It was the best moment of my career so far. The half an hour on the pitch after, with all the celebrating, cheering, all the supporters, they got what they wanted, we got what we wanted, and even some Germans stayed, I think. So I'll never forget it.
When did it finally sink in what you'd done, what you'd achieved as a team, as a person?
I don't think it's done yet. I think it's going to wait until the season. When my career is over, then I can sit back and think about it. I want to do it again.
I bet you never want to let go of that thing either.
Nah, I want to be able to do this interview a couple of times later as well, but then let's hope it says Man United a couple of places around here.